Alright, so this is an insane Elden Ring build, and it uses the power of madness to kill enemies. And not only that, but you'll also have impenetrable skin. I saw this build on Reddit by the user Adamantium OK, and they called it the first ever Elden Ring mech suit, which is pretty spot on to be honest, so I wanted to break down exactly what you'll need for this build, as well as where to get the items required. Now, at the time of making this video, Adamantium OK hasn't explained all the pieces of this build, so I'm having to make a guess at a lot of it, so if I've got anything wrong or there's anything you would improve for this build, let me know in the comments. Okay, the first item we need is the ironjar aromatic. This is the consumable that turns your armor into iron and massively reduces damage, and it lasts for about 30 seconds. To get it, you need to craft them using 3 ingredients. These are Altis Bloom, Cave Moss, and Living Jar Shards. The first 2 ingredients are pretty common, but as for the Living Jar Shards, here's where to get that, as well as the Perfumer's Cookbook 3, which you'll need to unlock the Ironjar Aromatic crafting recipe. Both the cookbook and a nice little farming spot for Living Jar Shards are both in the same location, which is very handy, and that's in Oriza Side Tomb. Just follow these directions. Okay, now we've got iron flesh, the next step of this build is getting the correct flask of wondrous physic. The first tier you want to mix in is the cerulean hidden tier. This lets you cast sorceries and incantations for 15 seconds without using your FP meter, and that's insanely powerful when you've got the right attack. For that, beat the boss under the minor Erd tree on Mount Gelmir. The next tier is the Crimson Whorl bubbletear. For that, head to this site of grace in Mountaintop of the Giants and follow this route. Next, it's time for the all-important seal. Now, I'm pretty sure Adamantium OK is using the Dragon Communion seal, which scales with faith and arcane, and for this, head to the sacred graveyard. Next to the grace site is an imp statue. Use 2 stone sword keys on it and you'll unlock Fringe Folk Hero's Grave. And here's the route to the seal. As for what incantation to use with the seal, it's this one, Unendurable Frenzy. It emits violent bursts of madness straight from your eyeballs, and when you use this after drinking from your physic flask, you get 15 straight seconds of pure damage. You can get unendurable frenzy right here. And of course the right talismans always help do the job, and the first one is the clarifying horn charm +1. That's because it raises focus and helps resist the effects of madness, which is good because using unendurable frenzy increases madness, and then you'll just die. So any item that raises focus is what we need. The second talisman is Radagon's Scar Seal, which raises all attributes at the cost of HP. That's found on the boss at the Weeping Evergoal. Next, the Mottled Necklace +1 also raises focus. That's found in the following location. And finally, the Perfumer's Talisman raises potency of perfume items, so that'll make the Ironjar aromatic even better. That's found here at the Perfumer's Ruins. And lastly, what should we wear for this build? Again, we want the armor that raises focus the most, and for that, you can't beat the Greathood. That's found here. The Mushroom set also raises focus, and that's found here in Seathwater Cave. And finally, Azur's Glinstone robe has a massive 99 rating for focus. To get that, complete Sorcerer Sellen's questline. And there you have it, the mech suit build in Elden Ring. Here's how I've allocated my points if you're wondering what level I am and what skills you'll need for this build. Now, I do have to say again that this is just my interpretation of the build. I'm just making a guess at how to create the build, but if you've got any suggestions of what to do differently, do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and for more Elden Ring guides, subscribe to the channel.